The Australian Open is officially in the books, leaving us with a whole new set of records. But if you think the indoor season in Rotterdam is going to be a come down, think again. I'm diving into a history where a final ended under shocking circumstances, a return winner that moved faster than most pro serves, and how Carlos Alcaraz just rewrote the record books yet again. Stick with me to find out why this tournament is one of the craziest on the calendar.
Oh, there we go.
And what's on the line for this year's stars.
Game, start, match.
Rotterdam isn't just a tournament, it's a stage for extremes. In 2025, Carlos Alcaraz didn't just show up, he made history yet again. By clinching the title, Carlitos became the youngest player ever to conquer all four surfaces: clay, grass, outdoor hardcourt, and finally, the indoor lightning of Rotterdam. Even more impressive, he became the first Spaniard to ever hoist this trophy, succeeding where the rest of the Spanish Armada fell short. One attempt, one trophy, one more milestone. But believe it or not, he wasn't the youngest story the Ahoy has ever seen. That honor belongs to the local phenom, Thijs Bogaert. At just 15 years old, he became the youngest participant in tournament history, a name you'll want to keep an eye on for the future. And then, we head to the other end of the spectrum. In 2018, the legendary Roger Federer proved that even amongst the big three, he could not be counted out just yet. At 36, he reclaimed the world #1 spot right here, becoming the oldest top-ranked player in history at the time. With 3 singles titles, 2 doubles trophies, and a staggering 28 match wins, Federer didn't just play in Rotterdam, he owned it. But sometimes, the drama in Rotterdam has nothing to do with forehands or backhands. Let's rewind to the 1984 final. It was a dream matchup. Jimmy Connors versus Iwan Lendl. Lendl was leading 6-0, 1-0. And then the phone rang. The organizers received a credible bomb threat. The entire Ahoy Arena had to be evacuated immediately. The match was abandoned and never finished. It remains the only final in the tournament's long history where no winner was crowned. Talk about an explosive finish. Sometimes history isn't about winning titles. Sometimes it's just about pure, unadulterated madness. Enter Benoit Paire.
Oh, stop it! Just stop it!
In 2020, against Aljaz Bedene, Paire decided he didn't want to rally. He just slapped the return. It rocketed off his racket at a staggering 182 kilometers per hour. Now, to be fair, he didn't quite break the sound barrier set by James Blake, who still holds the all-time official record with a 200 kilometers per hour rocket at the US Open. But for an indoor court in Rotterdam, this was an absolute lightning bolt. No big backswing, no effort, just pure effortless Pairefection. If you liked the video so far, don't forget to smash the like button. If you love epic tennis milestones and crazy statistics, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the sport's greatest moments. For you, it's just a click. For me, it means I can provide you with these videos more often. If you were betting on which country historically dominated the Rotterdam crown, where would you put your money? France? A great guess, but they're only third in total singles and doubles titles. The Dutch, because of their home court advantage, they had quite some success with 10 titles overall, but not close to the dominant forces. The obvious choice is the United States, right? Yes, they won the most titles so far. When you look closer, you'll notice that their last singles champ was Brad Gilbert in 1990, so already 36 years ago. Nowadays, the best Americans usually prefer the ATP 500 in Dallas, which is held at the same time. But there's another nation doing exceptionally well on Dutch soil, having brought up as many different winners as the United States, and they pulled something off the US boys never accomplished. I'm talking about Sweden. From the icy composure of Björn Borg and Stefan Edberg to the raw power of Robin Soderling, Swedish players have always felt right at home on these indoor courts. They've stacked up 7 singles titles and a massive 8 doubles trophies involving at least one Swedish player. But here's the ultimate Swedish flex. Stefan Edberg in 1987 and Anders Jared in 1993 did something no other player has ever managed in Rotterdam. They won both the singles and the doubles titles in the very same year. Not even Roger Federer, who has titles in both categories here, managed to pull off that specific doubleheader. In the Ahoy, the Swedish always seem to find another gear when needed. The Dutch have always been famous for their oranje fever, but in 2024, a completely different kind of orange stole the show, the Carota Boys. These legendary Yannick Sinner superfans didn't just fly in. They did a 14-hour haul from Italy, driving straight through the heart of Europe to reach Rotterdam just in time for the Sunday final. Now, the legend says they never slept, but the truth is a bit more professional. They actually grabbed a room at the hotel right next to the Ahoy Arena just to freshen up before the first serve. But the real madness, that started right after the trophy ceremony. Instead of heading back to bed, they jumped straight back into the car for another 14-hour marathon drive to Italy. Why? Because they had to be at their desks for work on Monday morning. Now that is world-class dedication to your tennis hero. But if you're looking for the man who truly embodies the soul of this event, you have to look at Richard Krajicek. His story here isn't just a career, it's a Hollywood movie script. It all started right here on the Rotterdam courts, but not with a racket in his hand. Krajicek began his journey as a tournament ball boy. Seeing the legends up close clearly ignited a fire, because he returned years later as a world-class pro. In 1995, he reached the final and won his first Rotterdam title, but it came with a heavy price. On the literal championship point, he tore his meniscus. He won the match and the trophy, but he had to do it while his knee was literally giving out. He came back in 1997 to repeat the feat, this time fortunately without the hospital visit. But the real full circle moment happened in 2004 when he was named tournament director. For over 2 decades now, the man who used to pick up the balls has been the one running the entire show. Which brings us to right now, the 2026 edition. The storylines are juicy this week. Can Daniil Medvedev finally break his bizarre curse and win the same tournament for a second time? The home crowd is desperate. They haven't had a Dutch singles champion since Jan Siemerink way back in 1998. Is this the year for Talon Griekspoor or Botik van de Zandschulp? Or will one from the younger Dutch generation come up with a Houdini act? And spare a thought for Alex de Minaur. He's lost the last 2 finals back-to-back. Surely 3rd time's the charm for the demon. The German top double, Krawietz Pütz, ATP Finals winner of 2024, have both won here already, but with different doubles partners. Why not add a title on this prestigious event to fuel their hopes of another great season together? But there might be some standing in their way. The 2025 champs Bolelli Vavasori will aim to defend their title. It would be the first time since Nestor and Simonic did so in 2010. Now I'm curious to hear, what was your favorite story? Which shocked you the most? Or is there any legendary Rotterdam stat line that I have missed? Drop a comment below and let's get the debate started. You can also check out my recent video about the Australian Open or the ATP event in Brisbane. Here are the links. You'll be surprised how many fascinating stats I could dig out for you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into tennis history, you know the drill. Follow me to stay up to date so you won't miss the next episode coming your way. Feel free to share this with friends, foes, or tennis bros. For this week, I'm...